Hello and welcome to another Smurpy video, and this week's X-Men are all here ready to be talked about, and we've got Domino, Warpath, Cannonball, Forge and Bishop. So let's take a closer look. Start off with Bishop. So this was iconic 90s Bishop. So he's a really nice figure. I think he looks really great. Bishop the character, he returned in Uncanny X-Force, and it was kind of like everybody forgave him for, you know, going on the hunt for hope. And I actually got really kind of irritated by the fact that, oh, all's forgiven with Bishop. But then I'm a big Cyclops fan, and Cyclops was irredeemable. So in terms of this figure, you know, it's a really nice head sculpt. You got the M there, you got the red eyes, you got a beautiful belt bucket. You know, some of the paint apps aren't perfect, but hey ho, it's not the end of the world. You've got the handkerchief, which was a big thing for the future, I guess, where perhaps fumes, I don't know, were running amok, and perhaps they put it over their face. And you know, you can get him in some really nice poses. Let me get his guns out off screen. Here we go. He's got this big kind of like plasma blaster from the future, it looks like. You know, which is really nice. And then you've got this short sword off kind of shotgun, which I always find is, you know, appreciated, especially in the show, because he kind of had that I don't know, that shotgun vibe going on. So Bishop, yeah, he's a character I think you either like him. I think at the point that he came in, you had him coming from the future, you had Cable come from the future, and you kind of felt, well, you know, this is becoming a bit, I don't know, time travel-y, but you know, it is what it is. I liked him as a character. I liked him in the early 2000s. He had his own series, District X, which was a nice, you know, he was trying to play detective, etc. I think that's what he wanted to do, and you know, it was always in the back of his mind that perhaps he's going to have to betray the X-Men to, I don't know, try and preserve his future. But then he literally goes in the future and destroys it anyway. It's kind of crazy. But, you know, that's Bishop. And this figure is really nice. Next up we have Domino. And in terms of me reading a character, I don't really know that much. I read more New Mutants and not really much of the X-Force early days. At some point I'm sure I'll get round to it. I read her in the X-Force series, which Wolverine ran. And then she was in the Bendis series. For me, I like Domino. I think you either like her, or you know, it's just luck powers again. But in terms of this figure, I really like this figure. You know, you got nice X there, and this is what her classic uniform used to be, I believe. So, and this came as a 2-pack with Cannonball, which I'll get to later. Apologies, she probably needs a good dust. So, you know, she's got some nice paint apps. You know, once again, you don't always get perfect paint apps. It's, you know, it's what you do with the figure, I think. You know, you can get her in some decent pose. Sometimes it's hard work, but, you know, ultimately she works. So you can kind of perhaps see her head a bit better. You know, it's a nice little head sculpt. It works. It does what it needs to be. And you could imagine her being this kind of flexible, running around, doing the crazy things she ends up doing with, you know, luck powers. And, you know, clearly it's not all luck, because you know, she's quite a skillful player in the grand scheme of things. Currently, we have no idea where she is. She's not popped up in any of the X-books that I've read. So if you do know where she is, let me know. Here we have Forge, and this was my favourite figure, and this was part of a 2-pack with the Wolverine, who was also in the gold and blue. I sold that because I didn't see a need to have it in my collection, but you know, this figure I wanted to keep. You know, I just love it. I love the colour, I love the outfit, and it works. Right, so here we have the outfit, and you know, it's quite clean, if that's the right word. I think it works really nicely. You know, you got the leg piece, which you expect to see, and you've got a lovely belt buckle there, which connects this whole section at the back. You got this Nice ponytail, which he always had, and you know, technical stuff there, which you expect to have. It's a nice little head sculpt. He's got an earpiece there. He comes with this. Oh, whoops! There we go. Always knocking stuff over. This big gun, and he has a little pistol. And I'm sorry, I didn't bring that up for the review. I've only just thought, where's his little pistol? I'm just going to change his hand over and his head so you can see the variant section of him. I think this was probably like one of the first times that they started giving you alternate heads. Obviously things have moved on a lot more and we see more alternate hands, etc. You know, they do sometimes give us a lot more these days, which is, you know, mostly appreciated for people who like spending time posing their figures in different positions. But you know, in terms of the gloves, I do actually like the gloves. I'm going to show you his mechanical hand, and there we go. You get this nice little mechanical hand, if you can see that. I think it's really nice. I can't recall how he lost his hand, his leg, whether it was in the war, or whether it was in one of the comics. He did heavily appear involved with Storm in the 80s, and you know, I think he's grown very bitter over the last few years, but I liked him back in Cable and the X-Force team. You know, him and Dr. Nemesis, you know, they were great together, and he's currently now in Extraordinary X-Force, so, you know, perhaps he's trying to, I don't know, redeem himself, etc. But yeah, he grew bitter. I think it was part of, you know, the X-Men kind of let him down a bit with Bishop practically almost killing him twice within a space of like a few weeks, and clearly that sent his psyche even further. But I think he was not really the team player that perhaps he could have been. He did star in X Factor. I think he almost had a romance with Mystique. So all in all, I like this figure. I'm not a fan of this head sculpt, but the hand works certainly. There we go. Here we have Cannonball, and I think this was his X-Force outfit. Correct me if I'm wrong. I always liked Cannonball. I liked him in New Mutants most of all. I wasn't particularly a fan of him graduating to be an X-Man after leaving X-Force. I think he probably suited Cable's regime a bit more. But yeah, this figure's really nice. They've really spent time on him. He's got a lot of nice detail on the outfit, and you know, he's got this nice head sculpt and the nice goggles. Once again, sorry, probably should have dusted him off again. You'll probably hear that a lot in my videos. Nice boots. all in all, this is a great figure. In terms of Cannonball, I'm trying to think when the last I saw him. Oh goodness, I know they had a New Mutants reprise a few years ago of about what, probably 8 graphic novels. So what, that's probably like 50 issues. I do need to read that at some point, but I don't know where he is now. I've not seen him since. So, but you know, sometimes you feel like they kind of redo groups, and they don't always do them very well. Sometimes, you know, like a lot of stories being rehashed and retold, or you know, they kind of go off this weird tangent, like simp. Sorry, bad grammar again. So hopefully we'll see Cannonball again. I think he was part of the Avengers. Oh, do you know what? That just irritates me. I'm not a fan of Avengers, X-Men. It irritates me. It should be X-Men and then Avengers separate. Or Avengers, X-Men separate. X-Men were always meant to be outlaws on their own. That's how they were designed. That's how they fitted in. And, you know, yeah, fair enough, if they were needed, they would come and they would help. But there's too much integration. You know, I can't read lots and lots of different X-Titles because a favourite character of mine's in them. It irritates me. But I guess that's the way they make money. But hey-ho, here we go. That's Cannonball, and I think he is beautiful. This one's probably the favourite out of my bunch, and he's probably the hardest to find. He came in a 2-pack with a Deadpool. I think a Deadpool in an X-Man uniform, funny enough. And I managed to get this guy on his own, and I was lucky. I've never been able to get the variant where he's kind of wearing X-Men, X-Force uniform, etc. But yeah, I got the X-Force one because I mainly wanted that. I mainly wanted him because I liked him in X-Force. He, you know, he's big, he's strong, and you know, he's brilliant. The only thing I was glad about, the guy who sold him didn't have the 2 sheaths which you usually see him with. So that was a bit irritating. But here's a closer look at the figure. You know, oh, sorry, I'm gonna have to take the light off. Oh, there we go. That head sculpt's nice. The mask is nice. It's what he wore. And then you got this outfit. Nice X logo there. His hands are strong. You know, I think it's perfect. It's got just the right paint apps, just the right detail for what you want from a Warpath figure. And like I said, he is huge. Here he is next to the San Diego Wolverine. And you can see that there is that size difference which you want. Okay, you could probably say he's probably maybe just a little bit more, but you know, you can't have everything. And I think that this works. Maybe if you have him that big, he's probably about this, or maybe that's probably a bit too big. So proportionally, I think he is nice. I think he works. Yeah, I like him. But just to finish out, this is a good bunch of team members. With, you know, Domino, Bishop, Cannonball, Warpath, X-Force uniform, and Forge. So, you know, if you can get them now, I know that this in particular, and these are probably hard to get, but if you can get hold of them, they are worth it, and they do look nice on the shelf. And there we have it. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.